Hey, this is AunTeaFee about them facts. How you doing? Trump waking up this morning, finding out that he done lied again, y'all. He done lied again. Oh my God. And I think I heard him say, all I do is play both sides. Oh, well, hell, I guess that's the most truthful thing this man done said. Let's hear this.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now. All I do is play both sides. I'm going on, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I'm going. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know. All I do is play both sides. I'm going. All I do is play both sides. I'm mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now. New Dawn, I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who you calm down because they went on a mission this morning? Appreciate the question. You go calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get. It's a new dawn. I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who you? Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now. Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
To violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. I like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Did he just say, as soon as I get away from you, I can see if I can stop it? Yeah, you mad. You mad. You mad. You said, as soon as I get away from you, asking me all these tough-ass questions that I don't have the answer for because I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just in it to win it. I am faking it till I make it. I'll see what I can do. Oh, Lord.
Have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
But reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay? That Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay? I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason pilots had put their lives in the line.
The pilot's
CNN is scum.
CNN.
And so is MSDNC. They're
he mad,
and frankly, the networks aren't much better.
Oh, he mad.
You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all, CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and friends in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. Their targets, those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try
They
and
didn't hit their target fully.
CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people, and the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. I say that to CNN because I watch it.
He
I
is
have no
very
choice. I
mad.
got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN
must have
is
worn him out
a
last
gutless group of people, and the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace. When I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished, gone. I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and
You
these
don't do good
cable
with
networks
defeat.
are real losers.
And they called you
really
out,
are.
so.
You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people, and the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Look at her fish face. Fish face. This was not our fight. You should not have gotten involved, and you should have went through the proper protocol. You should have went through Congress. They could have helped you not look like a fool. Okay? Yeah, that's what you're looking like. Now you mad at everybody else instead of being mad at yourself with your power move. That flopped. You're a flop. You're a flop. Okay? Yeah, okay.
So many times, but the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran.
They didn't buy your
but
piece
I'm really
of crap,
unhappy
sir.
if Israel's
They
going
didn't
out
buy
this
your
morning
shit.
because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. Israel, as soon as
Oh my goodness.
Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically
I guess he told y'all and he walked off. He cussed y'all out. Don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at us. And y'all thought it was a good idea. Okay.
This Tuesday morning, overnight airstrikes from Iran that you see did impact the residents there at last count. At least 4 people dead. We do know dozens more injured. Well, conflict in the Middle East, it has definitely trickled stateside, transitioning to give you a live look out in Atlanta, Georgia
this evening. But for now, that is the latest from the...
This coming in on X from the commander-in-chief. He says, quote, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do it, it is a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. He concludes by saying Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. And of course, this coming in on X from the commander-in-chief. He says, quote, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do it, it is a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. He concludes by saying Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. And of course, it's important to recognize this because early this morning when we hit this breaking news with the expert, the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East, Dr. Asaf Ramarwazki, he mentioned a lot of pressure is on Israel this morning to retaliate against Iran with those overnight strikes. If you're wondering, well, what happened? I want to take you out live to Beersheba, Israel. It's the latest strike from Iran early this Tuesday morning. We heard from the Israeli President Isaac Herzog, where he did say at least 4 people have been killed in this latest strike, dozens more injured. Survey crews at the scene right now working to comb through the damage, possibly find people alive under the debris. And again, that aftermath of that Iranian missile attack in Beersheba, Israel. I'm working with my producers because early this morning we did have a statement from the Israel Defense Minister where he did mention that they were going to retaliate. And that's possibly what is leading to the latest of President Donald Trump responding. And we have it right now. Thank you so much to Ryan and Julianne. Take a look. Israel Defense Forces, they say in light of the severe violation of the ceasefire carried out by the Iranian regime, we will respond with force. And then we saw soon after President Donald Trump here in the U.S. saying, do not respond. So it's pretty interesting to note this because we do have the latest with these officials also having the latest from Israeli officials. My producer flagging me that we have another comment to share. Thank you so much, Ryan. This is the very latest from the Israeli Defense Minister, Israel Katz. He says, quote, respond forcefully to Iran's violation of the ceasefire with intense strikes against regime targets in the heart of Tehran. So it's going to be interesting to see with our own commander-in-chief, President Donald Trump, telling Israel not to respond, and then you have Israeli leaders saying they will respond. If you didn't know,
in other words, you're not running nothing.
And of course, all of these leaders, many of them
think you a joke.
NATO summit. So it'll be very tense. There might be some chaos, but you can rely on Live Now from Israel Katz. He says, quote, respond forcefully to Iran's violation of the ceasefire with intense strikes against regime targets in the heart of Tehran. So it's going to be interesting to see with our own commander-in-chief, President Donald Trump, telling Israel not to respond, and then you have Israeli leaders saying they will respond. If you didn't know, the U.S. and Israel, they are allies. And of course, all of these leaders, many of them heading to the NATO summit. So,
by our friends from the Indo-Pacific and
the day of judgment will come as well. There is also divine punishment, which is very severe. It is extremely heavy. They will not be able to answer before God. But it is not just about punishment in the hereafter. Even in this world, nations will not forget this betrayal, and governments should know that relying on the Zionist regime will not bring security to any government. They cannot truly achieve lasting security by relying on the Zionist regime, because the regime itself, the Zionist regime, by God's decisive decree, is inevitably falling apart and collapsing, and God willing, it will not last much longer.
This is not good. Again, I'm going to say this was not our fight.
Oh Lord, increase your favors to the Iranian nation day by day. Suppress and defeat the enemies of the Iranian nation, oh Lord. Fulfill the lofty goals and ideals of the great Imam among the Iranian people. Grant that the sacred heart of the Imam of the age, may our souls be sacrificed for him, be pleased and satisfied with us, with the Iranian nation, and with all those who serve. Place the pure soul of the great Imam in the highest ranks of the exalted and in your paradise. And peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. The great Imam brought it about with the help of the people. The Islamic Revolution of Iran unexpectedly took the Western world by surprise. They were caught off guard. They did not feel, nor did they even begin to imagine, that it would be possible for a single cleric, someone acting entirely on his own, without the support of any companions, lacking any modern equipment, and possessing no significant financial resources or material wealth, to successfully inspire, organize, and mobilize an entire nation of people. The very idea that one individual, especially a religious figure with so few means at his disposal, could bring about such a sweeping movement was beyond their comprehension. No one in the West considered this possible or thought it could happen. At that time, many people could not imagine or even begin to believe that it would be possible for this nation, especially when led by a religious scholar who had no weapons or material resources at his disposal, to successfully challenge and ultimately defeat the powerful and heavily armed regime that was in control of Iran. The idea that a group of people, seemingly powerless and without any military strength, could rise up under such spiritual leadership and overcome a government equipped with vast resources and weaponry seemed completely out of reach to most observers. Especially a regime that was strongly and consistently supported in various ways by all of the major world powers, both Eastern and Western. They did not believe that this regime could be overthrown. They did not think it was possible that this revolution and this Imam could sweep away the Americans and the Zionists. These two groups, who had settled themselves comfortably in Iran for many years, had become accustomed to their presence and authority in the country. The Americans and the Zionists had established control over everything, maintaining their influence and power throughout all areas of Iranian life. For years, they had enjoyed this position, and it seemed unlikely to many that such deeply rooted control could be removed by the revolution and its Imam. That they could be expelled from the country. That not a trace of them would remain in the country. Their next notable surprise was the establishment of the Islamic Republic system. If, after the revolution, a compromising government had actually come to power, as in fact there were indeed some clear signs of this happening in the early days, a government willing to compromise with the West, if such a government had taken office. If that had happened, the Westerners would have very likely hoped and anticipated that they might be able to once again regain their previous influence and position of power in Iran, hoping to restore the level of sway they once enjoyed in the country, and carefully secure their illegitimate interests within this country. However, the Imam, in a very clear and explicit manner, stated his position regarding the establishment of an Islamic country as such. That is to say, the Imam declared clearly and unequivocally, both in his words and in his actions, that the system now arising from this revolution is, without a doubt, an Islamic system, a truly and deeply religious system. It was from this point that the confrontations began. After the Westerners came to the realization and fully understood the direction in which the revolution was steadily progressing and unfolding, and once they recognized the true course that these revolutionary events were taking, they began to respond accordingly. In which direction are those with Iranian nationality moving and heading? The conspiracies of the enemies, their destructive plans, their ruinous schemes have now begun against our beloved country and our nation that we hold dear. I do not know of any revolutionary system anywhere in the world, in the entire history of the past 2 or 3 centuries of revolutions, that has ever been subjected to as many conspiracies, as much enmity, and as many enemy schemes, plots, and machinations as this particular one. Just take a look and see. From the very beginning of the revolution, right from its earliest days, they began to incite various ethnic groups, encouraging divisions and stirring up different ethnicities throughout the country. They even went so far as to arm leftist groups. There were, in fact, leftist groups present in Iran to some extent during that period. These groups were armed within universities and in other locations as well. They integrated them, methodically preparing them to act against the system, all the way to provoking and supporting a ruthless, bloodthirsty wolf like Saddam Hussein. They incited him. They forced him. They encouraged him to attempt to attack our borders. Then there were targeted assassinations. The assassination of Martyr Motahari, the assassination of Martyr Beheshti, the assassination of Martyr Mofatteh, the assassination of Martyr Rajaei, the assassination of the martyrs of the Mihrab prayer niche. And it kept going on like this, up to the assassination of nuclear scientists and the assassination of active revolutionary youth. Look at these. These are, in essence, all a series of plans and schemes that were carried out against the system that was established as a result of the revolution in Iran. Then came the sanctions, comprehensive sanctions. Then there were direct attacks such as the Tabas raid, The American attack on Tabas, which is remembered for the incident where a sudden sandstorm disrupted the mission, and the attack on the passenger plane both stand out as significant events. Actions like these, such as shooting down the airplane, these actions against the system that emerged from the Islamic Revolution started from the very beginning of the revolution. Of course, they have continued up to today. The remarkable variety and extraordinary intensity of these intricate schemes and elaborate conspiracies, in terms of their deeply malicious content, in my opinion, and without exaggeration, there is truly no precedent.
Hey, how are you?
No, not now.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't look good. I know what to do. What's that?
I'm going to CashNetUSA.com. I can apply in minutes, and if approved, I can have the money as soon as the same business day.
Oh, nice save.
Saving the day is easy. The CashNet USA.
When you need money fast, be the hero. Go to CashNetUSA.com to apply for the money you need now.
By the arrogant governments, mainly the United States. And Zionism, and by the world's well-known and highly respected intelligence agencies, such as the CIA, which is the Central Intelligence Agency and belongs to America, as well as MI6, which is the Secret Intelligence Service and belongs to Britain, like Mossad, which belongs to the Zionist regime. These conspiracies have been carried out by them. The Islamic system. The Islamic Republic withstood all these various conspiracies, schemes, and hostilities from different sources. It endured. It neutralized these conspiracies. Perhaps if we count, more than 1,000 conspiracies were neutralized by the Islamic Republic. Some of them were also answered. The important thing is that they actually carried out these conspiracies in practice. In order to, in some way, weaken the Islamic Republic. But not only was the Islamic Republic not weakened by these events, but in fact its capabilities and power continued to increase and grow stronger day by day. This strengthening was evident not only inside the country, where its influence became more pronounced, but even outside the country as well, where its presence and impact were increasingly felt. The various capabilities of the Islamic Republic have over time grown. And right here, at this very moment, I want to sincerely tell the Iranian nation, and everyone who is interested in Iran's affairs should clearly know that from now on as well, with God's help and guidance, we will, without a doubt, continue to further strengthen and enhance our comprehensive national power as much as we possibly can. At this point, if I may, I would like to mention an important point. After this point, I will begin to address the main topic that I currently have in mind. That particular point is specifically about social uprisings. All over the world, social uprisings usually take shape with the help of emotions in many cases. Emotions play a crucial role in helping social uprisings to form and, in various ways, to succeed. Even if there is still thought and rationality behind these emotions, people are often lost among the many different opinions and judgments that naturally arise from experiencing such emotions. In this confusion, those important rational foundations that guide our thinking and decision-making can easily get lost or overlooked. They become diminished. Emotions. It frequently and sometimes significantly overshadows the rational goals and intentions of uprisings. So what is the result? The result is that when the emotions subside, the driving force for which the revolution was originally created, that path over time changes. Because the rationality that was behind this uprising, that rationality has been lost. It has become less effective. Therefore, the path changes. There are numerous examples of this in history. For instance, as an example, consider the French Revolution. In the 18th century, during a time of significant political change, a new dynasty began to rise and challenge the power of the monarchy. This was the Bourbon dynasty, which would go on to play an important role in the events of that era. Then, after the revolution succeeded, and even the king and his wife were both ultimately executed, a wide range of various emotions so completely took over and filled the entire atmosphere among the people that for a time they became so overwhelmed that they forgot to even consider the most important questions. Why did the people rise up? Why did they fight and take to the streets in the first place? After about 15 years, Napoleon's monarchy was firmly established in France, and after he departed from power, the very same royal dynasty that the revolution had been against eventually returned to power once again, in fact restoring what was essentially the old order. For approximately 70 or even 80 years, France, which had fought against monarchy, continued to live under a monarchy once again. In other words, the rational foundation behind that uprising and revolution was completely lost. It disappeared. We see this in almost all revolutions, or at least in most revolutions around the world. My main point is that Imam protected the Islamic revolution from this destructive affliction and safeguarded it, making sure that the revolution remained secure and unharmed in the face of this threat. In other words, Imam's actions ensured that the revolution was preserved and kept safe from harm.